Welcome into our lives.
And welcome to the Expanders Club podcast.
We're so happy to have you.
Join us as we embark on a journey of deep exploration, soul searching, and asking the hard questions.
With the goal of truly understanding the most aligned, empowered, and purposeful versions of ourselves.
We want to live an extraordinary life, and we're willing to dig deep to find out what it takes.
Buckle up. You're about to meet a new version of yourself, an extraordinary one. Hello, friends. Welcome to the Expanders Club podcast and a very special edition of the podcast called Ask a Psychic. I am joined by my friend and very talented psychic spiritual teacher, Christina. And we just did a live psychic reading and damn, it was emotional. It was a big one. How are you feeling, Christina?
Yeah, I think that's the most I've cried so far. And it's not to say that, some things touch me more than others, but there's just so much in when things crack open and when there's uncertainty and the unknown. And, it just really resonated with me for sure. I have a juicy question about it that it brought up, and I'm curious to hear what your take is on this. So I want to ask the audience too to take a moment and think about this question about when you think about the unknown and your life changing and you wanting to step into a new paradigm. Do you only want your life to change if you know how it's going to work out? And then ask yourself, how's that going for you? Is it working? How does that feel? And I have a lot to say about that, but let's kick it off there.
I mean, it's a great question. It's like, do you want to have your cake and eat it too? Right? Yes, I would like to know how it's going to go. Always. And also understand the reality that we actually, even when we think we're in control, right? And understand where we're going, we're not. And it's a hard thing to hold. It's a hard thing to hold because it's like a bunch of things can be true at once. There's the acknowledgement of heading into a chapter of unknown, right? Like in a position that I'm in right now where it's very, from my past experience of having a kid, I very much know I'm heading into a chapter of unknown, and the trust and surrender in that. And then there's the unknowns that we're forced into. I have a catalyst that I'm not ready to share publicly yet, but that is forcing me in other parts of my life into a very unknown place. Mm-hmm. And it's man, I could, if only, right? There's a part of me that's if only this could have happened in 3 months, or if only I had clarity on these things. And then the other part of me that's oh, it's always a good thing. It always ends up great. It always ends up being a moment of expansion, but I am going to be in this murky, unknown place that doesn't feel good for a while.
Yeah. A lot of people think that liminal space is scary, and for me, what I've learned over time is that there's so much creativity in the liminal space for things to unfold. Possibility to me is exciting, but you have to also sit in the discomfort of it. And I think one of the things that our world, our industry, whatever you want to call it, gets wrong is that trust has to be blind faith. And actually what I found is, and I think that's a little bit of that toxic spirituality, or we're only meant to manifest rainbows and butterflies. But what's actually true is that trust is built through repetition and data points and pattern recognition. It's how can I sit in the unknown long enough to see that everything has worked out.
Yes.
And then when you see it, then you look backwards and you go, okay, I have a data point. So instead of saying, I need the end goal first in order to trust my intuition, you're saying, how about I give intuition a go and then I'll have the end goal work out?
Yes, you are speaking my language right now. Are you a psychic?
Rumor has it.
This is the exact conversation I was having with myself this morning of okay, I'm 40, right? I have a lot of data points in
Hmm.
of turmoil and unknown and ups and downs in life, and it always has worked out. I've always gotten through it, and it's
Hmm.
always been an opportunity for expansion, and what's on the other side has always been bigger and better than what I came from. And so, yeah, I was having that exact conversation. Can I take those data points, lean into trusting them, lean into knowing that I will know the right actions to take, lean into knowing this is just a chapter, lean into knowing that there's good and expansive things on the other side, and that everything happens for a reason and it's all happening for me?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes, right? It's probably not going to be 100% of the time through this little chapter and journey that I'm in, but 80/20, I can trust and surrender. And then 80% of the time, and then the other 20% of the time, probably going to be very human.
Yeah, you're resisting or controlling or freaking out. I mean,
Yes.
but that is human. That is part of the 80% I found. Is like, yeah, I mean, so often I have thousands of data points of this for myself. And then now working with clients, I'll give you a little story of this. I had a client this week who I've been working with for quite a while every week, and she has lots of practice, and it's like incredible to watch her journey. But then you have in a situation where it's like alarm, right? Like, okay, now
Mm-hmm.
I have to figure this out. So she has an investment property, and they got an offer on this property, and the market isn't exactly on fire right now where they are. And she has a business partner, and they were like, the business partner was like, we should definitely take it. It's not going to be this good. That multi-million dollars were on the table, right? It's like a very like tempting little treat to take, but she had this feeling that she wasn't meant to take it. And she was like, I need my psychic. Like, can you just tell me, what to do?
Mm-hmm.
And
I love those moments. Yeah.
and that's part of being in my mentorship program. You do have a psychic in your pocket that you can message. But what I reflected to her, and when I dropped in and got the hit on it, it was make the choice to take the sale and do the sale, but then ask the universe to stop it if it's not meant to be.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And so she did that. She talked to her business partner, and she was like, okay, sure. Yeah, I agree. Let's do it. And then she offered it to the universe. And then she knew that her hit on it would work out that way. And of course, they took the sale, and the deal fell through a day later.
Mm-hmm.
And she felt so much relief. And the beauty of that is she didn't have to like strong arm her intuition and create tension between her and her business partner. She actually got the gift of like having ease in that relationship and kind of going with the flow, and and then it all worked out anyway, and she doesn't have to say I told you so. I mean, me and her would have to be like, wow. And then I had a discussion with her the next, a few days later, and we were like, how thrilling was that? Isn't that amazing? It worked. And I'm like, now you have a new data point. We have
Yes.
more proof that your intuition will guide you and that you can surrender to something greater than yourself, that just let it go and attach to the outcome, and then you get data point of like your intuition was right.
Well, isn't that such a part of our work too, reading for people when we have to make the decision to share or not share something? There's
Yeah.
plenty of times, we've talked about this and we've talked about it on air, but there are plenty of moments of and plenty of information that comes through that doesn't feel right to share, right? But you know it and you're like,
Mhm.
damn, I have this piece of information. Can I give it back to the universe and trust that the universe will help them see the correct answer, the correct next step for themselves?
No, that's such a thank you for that reminder. And yeah, I love how expertly you do this when someone's like, just tell me. The truth is, I knew that her intuition is right and that the deal was not meant to be taken.
Mm-hmm.
But because we're in so much practice and become masterful in this, in the way of it all, not just like this is about a psychic hit or yes or no, but like this is about something bigger at play of energy, moving things for the best possible outcome. Instead of me delivering that message, like, don't take it, I was like, it's not going to be taken anyway. And I
Right.
can't tell you that
Mm-hmm.
right now because you're not going to believe it until you see it. And why don't we
Mm-hmm.
empower her to go through that practice versus me just give her
Yes.
another place where she could wrestle with her mind. Is Christina right? Is she not right?
Right.
Um,
And that's a skilled psychic, ladies and gentlemen. That's the type of guidance that you want because you and I talk about this all the time too. No matter what is happening, like our goal is not to just give people answers. Our goal is to empower them. It's
Hmm.
to empower them and lead them back to their own wisdom and back to themselves.
Yeah.
That's the goal. That's what raises, all the vibration of the world.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think
Hmm.
that's an important like note to hit on for anyone who is seeking psychic information or does have psychic help. Like it is not meant to be a yes or no game and a like tell me my
Ooh.
future, right? Like there's a lot of different energies and there's a lot at play here, and the journey, it should be expanding your journey, and that journey is your path to your greatest expansion.
Mic drop. That's a beautiful way to say this. And so often the people who come into me are like overachieving, perfectionist leaning, highly successful, and they want the capital T, capital P, the plan and the outcome and the
Mm-hmm.
blueprint, you know? And that's how they're used to operating in their life. And so I'm curious about what you think about this too, because I think there's two types of intuition, right? You can live in the bubble of the known. Like you can absolutely be like, my intuition feels calm and clear, and I'm safe and cozy, and I'm going to listen to it and kind of, stay in this zone. And I'm sure many of our audience members can know what that feels like. And they're like, this feels good and comfortable, and I have the plan and the manifestation, clear path, kind of like what Bess was talking about is like, I usually can see it and then I go to it.
Yeah.
And then there's this whole other set of people that live in, or you grow to be comfortable as you practice this, in the unknown. And let's talk a little bit about intuition is not meant to be, or guidance from the universe is not meant to be safe and comfortable. It
Mm-hmm.
should push you out of your edge. It should stretch you. It should expand you because you're going into a place that you've never been before. And so it's not to say, yeah, I think you get what I'm saying. Intuition doesn't need to stay in the comfort zone. It actually, when it's working right, or ideally, it's going to make you uncomfortable, and it's going to
Push.
stretch
Yeah.
you and push you. Hmm.
Yeah, and like to, I kind of see the visual of like, do you want a linear path where it's like, okay, this step and then the next step and then the next step, or do you want to take quantum leaps? Like, do you want to get where you're going? I see a lot of times with clients, it's like, okay, there's an outcome that's feels fairly inevitable, right? Like in
Hmm.
a lot of situations, there's an outcome that feels fairly inevitable, but do you want to get there next year or do you want to get there in 20 years?
Uh-huh.
And that's your choice, you
Totally.
know? And the everyone wants to get there next year, right? And so, okay, there's going to be some discomfort then because it's time to grow.
Yeah, and Bess was such a good example of this because um, she talked a lot about impatience and then feeling like she landed somewhere where everything was falling apart. And sometimes, I mean, the universe is going to do what it's going to do, right? And it almost felt like a feeling of the universe sometimes can feel like a violent attack on us where they hand us our asses, and she mentioned like this feels like a tower moment, and
Hmm.
that tower is like everything, the lightning comes and it splits apart and it all crumbles down. But I found, and that's not the wrong way, right? And a lot of us have that experience and then come to this work because they're like, I'm kind of sick of everything feeling so hard. um,
Hmm.
and then you start doing this work and it's like you jump on the edge faster, you let go of something faster, you step into the unknown faster, and then you don't have to it doesn't have to be as um, intense, I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, and I think it's all practice, right? Because I think a lot of us who have those, we'll call it the tower moment, it's like it's because we weren't listening to the
Yeah.
universe, right? And
Hmm.
to the signs, the small signs. And it's like, okay, well, in this situation that I'm in right now, it's like, okay, that was the only thing that was gonna, the situation that happened, the catalyst, that was the only thing that was gonna get me to shift out of
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
situation,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like that had to happen.
Yeah.
I had known, I had signs, I had thoughts about it come like this shift needing to happen and coming for a long time, but I was comfortable
Mhm.
and making excuses about not making the change. So the universe was like, all right, let's rip the rug out and you're gonna figure it out pretty quickly, right?
Yeah.
And so many times in hindsight that's happened to me. And overall, I've made the commitment to listen the first time, or at least the second time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And lean into that knowing. And that's what you're talking about, where it gets easier and less traumatic. But the universe will send as big of a message as we need to get
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because like I said, that
Totally.
that forward momentum and a lot of those outcomes are, they're what our soul's here for. They're always going to happen. But sometimes the universe is like, okay, you need a bigger push toward that, it seems like.
Yeah.
So let's do
Patterns
that.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these aren't sweeping statements that we're making either. It's like every circumstance, every decision has a spectrum of where you're going to fall on control versus known versus unknown versus trust, all versus intuition. Like every single thing you're going to feel different and it's going to, get tangled and yeah, you're going to feel like this is an easier thing than this thing and like the signals from my body are a lot harder to listen to than the signals to like move
Mm,
locations,
mm,
or change careers and, um, or relationships. Like even if I'm hiring someone on my team and it's not working out, like making that decision to leave is much harder than, you know, making a decision, like really like same thing with dating, I'm like, but we can just try a little longer,
mm-hmm.
but
Maybe
so
it's
everything
me.
is going to be different, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. And yeah, so I'll pause there because I want to talk about another piece of that. But
Well, I'm curious what some of your tools are when you are in the
yeah.
unknown, right? Because it's not it's I we've all experienced those times where we're in flow and everything
Hmm.
feels good, and like right, that's when it's easy and you just follow your intuition and you feel good.
Yeah.
And I recently had this where I was like, this is great. I feel like I've mastered that. But like, sure, when everything's good, right?
Of course.
When
Yeah.
everything's good, it's easy to master that energy and being in and staying in that energy.
Yeah.
What are tools that you use when you do feel like you're in the black hole or in the unknown or in a chapter like that?
Yeah, I think we noted one of them, which is go back to the historical data and get the
Hmm.
data points and references and log those, write it down, have friends that can remind you and family that can remind you of this, of like, look, when you did this, it worked out okay. And going back there. I think something else that you brought up beautifully with Bess is time. And when you feel urgency, that usually comes from a place of fear. And when you start to break apart the concept of time and that you don't have to rush anything is like, and the hard thing about time and sitting with time is like, it's usually uncomfortable when you don't have an answer. So it's a tool of being like, okay, I don't know what time is and it's all an illusion. And so if there's, if I'm feeling like I need it right now or I need to get it right tomorrow, again, I have a client who's like, but I need to make a decision if I'm going to Spain or not. I have the option, I have to take the room or not. And it's like, okay, do you? And then she tried
Hmm.
to get to Spain and the flight got canceled. So then she tried to get a train and then the train got stopped 3 times. And then she tried, you know what I mean? It was like, it's just like letting the time unfold in a way. Yeah, that feels uncomfortable. And then I think also like reminding myself that I'm not floating in outer space, like interstellar, where you're
Hmm.
just like, ooh, that there's guardrails. The universe is going to give you bumper lanes, to kind of
Yeah.
be like, bonk, okay, I'm over here, okay, float back kind of in here. And but so I like to think about
Yeah.
that concept of energy and the cosmos and quantum energy, physics, where I'm like, I'm not gonna just be let out into space. I have guardrails and they're gonna come back to me over and over
Yeah.
by way of my intuition, by way of opportunities, by way of next right actions. It's not passive.
I love that. Yeah. I like that one. I like mantras really help me.
Mm,
Coincidentally, before this catalyst happened yesterday, a mantra came through for me that was I choose to be in the energy of miracles. Like a little bit of
mm,
a reset to just come back to it any point in the day when I'm spiraling
I
or
love that.
not feeling like I'm in the right energy. Definitely in times of uncertainty, like we talk about it with Bess, you bring it up. I stick to that my morning routine, some kind of
Uh-huh.
morning practice to like make sure I'm at least starting my day in an energy that feels right and feels expansive. But yeah, just a little more tuning in, and playing with the different tools that I have to see what works. And again, like similar to what you said, like remind myself this is just a chapter,
Yeah.
and there's always another side to it. And man, I guess I'll buckle up and see what growth I'm in for, right?
I'm losing my second voice
I,
now.
I guess I needed this. Yes. I guess I
I
needed
think,
this, and I know it'll all be good on the other side.
yeah. And I wanted to demystify for everyone listening that, like, we teach this, we practice this, we guide folks, and like we're also just trying to talk the talk before we walk the walk.
Hmm.
That mantra is so important of like we're doing this to try to convince ourselves as well all the time that we're living real life where it's hard, and to remember that like you're in the thick of it, often.
Yeah.
And um I also think about the universe is always so much more creative than I could ever be,
Yes. Yes.
and
Oh,
then
for
go back
sure.
to my creativity and just be like, okay, you know,
And
how,
again, that's
how
the
can I put creativity in the midst of my process?
that's the beauty of having some years right on the planet, is like you can look back. It's again the reflection of like, oh yeah, this is gonna work out and it's gonna be better. I have no idea because it's gonna be better than I can even imagine right
Mhm.
now.
Mhm.
Yeah. Whew, though, it is uncomfortable.
We have facts. We come with receipts.
Yes, yes.
And
And
I can't wait for Bess's receipts to come through, and
mhm.
her vulnerability and her courage to just be in it, um, is so beautiful. And I know a lot of people are going to resonate and relate to her and hopefully us and the examples we give about ourselves and others.
And similar to something that came through for Bess, like if you're in it, you've got this. You've got
Hmm.
this.
Hmm.
You've got this. You've got the tools. Show up for yourself, commit to it, commit to getting through it. You've got it. And that is a reminder
Hmm.
for myself as well. All right, Christina, where can people find you? How can they work with you?
Yeah, I just opened spring registration for an intuition practice circle, so get in on there.
Ooh.
And then I, of course, have my mentorship program. It's a container where people can work with me over time so that we can get real life examples and practice this. Or you can come with me for a one-on-one reading where you can say, okay, I have to make this real estate decision. Kind of, what do I do? And I work you through that. And you can find me at spiritual-curiosity.com and you'll see the ways to do all of that.
Yes, we'll link everything in the show notes. When this comes out, I'm not sure where I'll be in my chapter, so just tune in. I'll share on Instagram. I will probably be nursing a newborn,
Yeah.
which will be a beautiful, lovely, interesting addition to this chapter of unknown for me.
Yeah.
You can find me at the_Brooke_Harris on Instagram. And when I'm out of my portal, you'll be hearing from me much more. So
Yeah.
thank you, everyone. And Christina, thank you so much for your wisdom today. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you.
Thank you. I love you all.
Yeah. See you soon. Hi, Bess. How are you feeling?
Really zen right now. So great.
Chris, Christina has that effect. Thank you for joining us today. We're so excited to have you here. Grateful for the topics that you're about to bring forward, and grateful for your vulnerability and sharing in this space. Can you tell us a little bit about what's bringing you here today to chat with the two of us?
Yeah, so I basically had a very huge upheaval in my life, huge tower moment,
Mm.
end of the year, the snake moment, like just shredded everything. I broke up with my boyfriend. I moved from California back home, and I'm just kind of like trying to figure out what direction to go in. Um, yeah, I just kind of feel kind of like stuck and lost. And
Mm.
normally I'm the type of person like very good at like manifesting what I want, like when I have a clear idea and direction. And at this point, I'm just like, where do I go? What do I do? Everything I thought was going to happen is not.
Hmm.
And, how do I, actually get what I want and get clear about what I want? So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So can you state what your first or what your initial question is for your guides?
Yeah. When will I have a family?
Hmm.
Okay, let's check in with the body first. Christina, gosh, I feel that so much in the heart. I know we're both tearing up here. A lot of weight on the heart, a lot of weight on the chest.
Yeah, of course. And the first inclination was like to go to your womb and be like, where is it? Like when?
Mhm.
And then it brought me out of that place. And it doesn't mean that there's nothing there. It's just saying, hold on just one moment. There's more going on in your body and your system and the recalibration than like rushing to anything. And that's often the paradox of receiving the gift of a baby and
Yeah.
a partner, and how all that's going to go in is like, but where's Bess? And
Mhm.
it feels like you're in fractal pieces a lot of places, and you
Yeah.
went into the universe like you almost broke apart, and you've been breaking apart for a very long time. It feels like your body's like, it cannot come together in lightning speed. It's going to come together in a new set of being. It's almost like that Japanese, like a bowl breaking apart, and then you put it together, and there's like golden, lights. It's like
Mhm.
you're being put together in a completely new way. I was brought so I'm like bringing your energy, your pieces kind of back, and they're sort of like
Mhm.
floating around you. Like,
I
hold on, you feel
That's
that?
exactly what I feel. I feel like her chest and heart are in one place, and then everything else is
Mhm.
just floating out in the world. Yeah.
Mhm. I got a clear message of your throat. There's a resistance to grief in a way of grief that you know it. It's like you're having this sense of grief, but resistance to it and being sick of feeling sad
Mm.
or like grief. And
Yes.
it's holding in your throat. It's like not, it's like it wants to scream, but a purity, like in this pure form of grief. But let's not attach the story to it of like, why does this happen to me? When am I going to have this? I always happens. I fucked up. It's like, just go. Your grief is here, and your
Mm.
heart is the space that Brooke mentioned that's open.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is it's a grief that's ready to turn into appreciation. Like
Mm.
it needs to come out so it can be more expansive than the grief that you believe that it is. And there's this need for some acknowledgement of like what you've just done in a really beautiful way. Not, okay, I've done this now. Where is everything? It's like, damn, I did this. I did this for myself. I did this to make a change. I did this to move closer to my highest timeline, to all the things that I want. And it feels like there hasn't been that moment of like appreciation for yourself. Like, yes, you're grieving the transition, the transformation, the loss, um, and not knowing where you're going, but like that grief is ready to transform into appreciation and a more expansive energy.
I got this beautiful vision of, at a funeral, there's like the most beautiful flowers and bouquets. It's like you're being handed a beautiful bouquet of what your feelings feel like here's a grief rose, here's a tulip with excitement. And with that message, your guides and your spirit is very clear of like, you think that you're not manifesting right now, and you manifested the shit out of everything that just fell apart.
Hmm.
You wanted that. You needed this. No, it's confronting. Yeah, let's pause
Yep.
there.
Actually, that's funny you said that.
Yeah. It's your spirit is like, I am not letting her tell that story this way. Like this, you are not stuck there. Everything that you just said, it's shedding, it's momentum, and it's like that's the paradox. Is this is exactly what needed to happen in the exact moment. So even though you feel stuck, it's just you're just resisting the fact that you wanted this. This is actually deeply what you wanted.
Yeah, and the disorientation is the new timeline you've landed in by making those choices. So you made the choice to make a quantum leap, right? You've landed, well, parts of you have landed in that new timeline. And like Christina said, it's now about putting those parts and pieces together and figuring out how to operate in this new timeline, because it takes a whole different operating manual than what you've been used to. So time is going to be completely necessary. And yet I feel this battle, this combativeness with time. How is all this feeling to you, Bess?
Yeah, very accurate. Feeling like very impatient,
Hmm.
but also kind of like I'm just like running in quicksand a little bit, you know? But yeah.
Yeah, the distinction too they want you to hear is that you didn't manifest something quote unquote bad and tragic. That's not what they're saying you were a magnetic match to. And I don't know if there was part of you that heard it that way, but they just want to clarify you manifested something really good and expansive and put you in this new timeline to get to your dreams faster and to get to your family faster. And they're also acknowledging of like acknowledge and feel in a space of gratitude for the family that you have, that there is so much family and your friends and your real family rallying around you and available, that the more you put energy into, I have a family, I'm grateful for my family, I am grateful for this part of the way that so and so shows up, and really focusing on like the places what family means to you and where you do have it is a way for you to signal to the universe, I have what I need. And then it grows from there. Does that feel? Brooke is nodding along. Yeah.
Yes, I just am getting this visual. Like I see family coming in it's a really interesting timeline that biologically doesn't fully make sense 100%. I see a partner and two kids. So I'm feeling almost like there's a partner coming with one child. Um, and I do feel that like soulmate love, like almost like if you could just like peek around the corner. It's like just around the corner of this like of this walk
Just
that you're taking with
around the river
yourself right
bend.
now.
Yeah, it's interesting I said that. I wonder if there's a place for you that you're moving, to somewhere with like a river or bodies of water. Going there to get information will be helpful for you. But yeah, I agree with Brooke. I think I know a little bit of your backstory and that they're like it actually you're incredible jumping into a family system that exists with a child. And that is something that you needed to learn in order to expand your heart and feel confident about stepping into the role of a stepmom for one child and then also, having your own. And I do see that the next child being a lot younger. And I see your partner being a lot younger. Do you see that, Brooke?
Lately, it's
I love that. I love that. I mean, get it, girl. Why not? I think it's like, if you can start to shift your relationship with time, like this battle that you have with time is not serving you at all. And I think that's a big thing that has to be released. Like, let us tell you, it's all going to happen in due time. Like, and you've you've taken quantum leaps. So you've already jumped 10 levels further than you were before, right? Like that's a gift. And the more you can settle into this energy, bring those pieces back together, drop the battle of time, drop the stories that Christina was talking about, like the labeling things. Even when you said, like when you were telling your story and saying I moved back home, that almost felt like a little bit of a failure to you. And like It's not. You just freaking quantum leaped. Like, is what is the message coming through? Like, they want you to know, like, this is a huge achievement, and they want you to stop telling yourself that you didn't do something big. Like, you need to make that peace with yourself quickly.
It's
Are
like
you
the
having a hard
paradox of,
time?
yeah, yeah, go
You're
ahead.
having a hard time receiving that?
No, no, ish. Like logically, I know that, but it's just like,
You
you know,
know, don't forget you can't lie to a psychic.
yeah.
You definitely can't lie to two psychics. So
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like you don't, at a certain age, you don't think you'd be like at this point at a rut, like starting
Mhm.
literal
Mhm.
scratch again, you know? So I think that's like what my struggle is with.
Yeah, that's a very real thing. That's a very real thing. And also, like, is it? Like, we're sitting here, Christine and I are accessing guides, the Akashic records, like ancestors who don't give a shit about age, right? Like, is it real? Like, on one hand, it feels very real. On the other hand, it's like, okay, if you believe in magic,
Yeah.
miracles, possibilities, any of that, even a little bit, like, who cares? Who cares that you're 42?
Yeah.
You
I will
know?
say, after working with hundreds and hundreds of people and people who have children or unmarried, they would do anything for a clean slate. They would, and again, we're not bypassing the reality of your grief and your frustration and your feelings of failure. Those are very real and deserve all the attention and love. And there's a paradox of acceptance, and that can come from when you accept it, of like, okay, I have a clean slate. I feel restless, and I feel impatient, but I have a clean slate and I accept where I am in this moment and it's temporary. Then things start to pick up faster and energetically move faster.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I'm getting a very clear response to your question, when will I have a family? And I think it makes sense based on what Christine and I have been sharing. They're saying when you're ready. And so maybe that's the question, is more of like, what does being ready look like? What are the steps for you to get to be ready?
Yeah. Can you answer that or explore that a little?
I don't know. Honestly, at this point, I'm just like, how do I even get there, you know?
Yeah, I can feel your brain moving a lot. And I can tell you that's not the part of you that we need. One of the clear things that came through was receiving, like you are not good at receiving.
Yes.
And that is one of the steps when you are ready to receive. I know that probably sounds annoying, but that is one of the big things, when you are ready and able to receive. And there's, I'm sure, a lot of layers beneath that.
Okay, again, this flower theme is coming up. First of all, go get yourself some flowers today. That is very clear. Also, herbal teas, like putting flowers in your body, or flower
Mhm.
essences. This is a big part of
Mhm.
you right now. Spring is coming up, I know, and where you are, and that's going to be beautiful. But what I saw is you have an idea that you need to go to a garden and pick a baby out of the garden and a flower and be like, I'm bringing the baby to me. And actually, what's happening is the baby is handing itself to you as its own bouquet, as its own flower. It's saying, here, take this and receive me instead of take me in. Like, it's
Mhm.
about a reception versus a, does that resonate for you? Do you know what I mean? Where you're like, I gotta go get it, or I gotta go put my eggs and pick one and do the thing, or pick a, whatever your journey is that you're thinking about. It's like, no, I get to receive. My spirit baby wants to give me their soul.
Yeah, and they're very present. And they're just
Mhm.
like watching you, waiting, like when is she ready? When is she ready? When can we see all these pieces come together? This like more grounded version of you that has made peace with some things and is ready to receive. And then that's it. It all falls into place.
Okay, it's finally time to say this because she has been like dying Yeah, that's a terrible use of word. Really excited to come through. Your mom's mom is here. Um, she's
Oh,
she's showing like she's going, all the children. Look at all the children. There's always all the children. And you are going, like, you have all the children. And that is going to continue through you. And she's going, my boy, like, my boys, like, I want you to take a boy and show him the way of, like, it's almost like she's saying she had an easier time with the girls than the boys in a sense. Like, does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and so she's kind of like, I'm gonna give you this to like do what I now understand I could have done. And that's like one of the gifts that you have to receive if you choose. And there's just, of course, like so much color and music, and she's like showing that she's saying it's a party here. It's a party here. Like, and she's like with everyone and having a party. And then she comes onto Earth and she shows people parties. And she's like, there's just all that, like the color of like carnival, I'm just seeing
Yeah.
all of that. Um, so she's like, I'll give you the colors and you have all the children like are all here. And she's really proud of that and wants you to trust that. Yeah.
how is this all feeling, Bess? What questions is this bringing up for you?
No, it's awesome. So excited she came through. Oh,
Immediately, like before we even started recording. Like,
okay.
hold on. Like,
Oh my gosh. Oh,
she's handing you something too. Hold on. She's going like this and it's unfolding. There was one, it feels shiny, but it also feels like a bird, which doesn't make sense. It's almost like a shiny winged bird, like the holographic kind of iridescent color of the wings. So look out for something like that. Um, She's also saying she wanted to give you something, but because of like, it's almost like the politics of the family, she couldn't, but know that she wanted to. Does that like it's sort of like she like did the right thing and like this was kind of like the way, but like she understood that she wanted to give you more, like to remember her by, but that there was all the children. It's like she's like, and so just know that like she'll give you gifts, she'll show you now that she's on the other side, like ways to connect to her. Does that make sense? Was there something you were like, I would have loved that from her?
yeah, like when she passed away, I was there like the whole time, but she had like tons of jewelry and stuff, but
Yeah.
everyone has to like, so that makes a lot of sense.
That's what it was. That's what I was seeing, like the shiny metal object. What's that? What's that?
She would have given it to me.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. Is like I would have, but she's like appreciates that you were like, let's just see where this goes. But I do see her finding a piece of jewelry like on its way to you, and it doesn't necessarily mean one of hers that she passed on. It's like a new one, something that you're gonna be like, I know this is from grandma.
Yeah.
I
Aw.
love that. I think one big message I'm getting for you too is this is a homecoming. Like I know you use the language I moved home, but this is a homecoming in all the ways of you coming back home to yourself for the first time in what feels like a long time, maybe the first time in this lifetime. And it's like those pieces that Christina talked about that she's helping bring back together. They went out and got this like refresh. It's almost like it was like clearing the energy all around each of the pieces. So when you put them back in, it's not new pieces. They're the truest pieces of you that you're putting back in. And it's going to take a little to like fully be conscious about that. And it's going to feel weird and awkward and out of place because these are all parts of you just got a cleansing and a refresh and a reset. And you're going to have to get comfortable with them again and get to know them and get to know yourself, your true self. So this is truly a homecoming back to the you that was always meant to be here operating on the earth.
Oh, I like
Okay.
that.
I saw it with Homecoming. I saw you like in your cheerleading outfit being like, bring it out.
Those
Um,
that feels like the guides. You have a lot of like cheerleader type
Yeah.
guides around you, just being like they're just like cheering, like watching in awe of you make these decisions, and they're just like waiting for you to put the pieces back to the exact right places in the exact right way, and they're so excited.
okay, so I have a prescription for you. They're like, okay, now tell her to do this, you know? And I just want to say, because this is important to note, when you get directive like this from guides or your intuition or whatever, if you don't do it, you don't want to have the additional experience of I'm failing. I'm not listening to it right now. If it is hard to get out of bed that day, like you're not like, oh, now I'm going to be punished because I didn't listen to the universe and I'm the worst and I'm a failure. No, this is an offering and you can take it. You can take it in pieces, but they're like, here you go. Okay. Um, the theme is routine. The theme is that you are not stuck, right? Like you put a plan together of be like, this is the time I wake up and have water with lemon, and then I go eat. Like you're literally putting an executive schedule together for yourself, and then you're eating at the same time, and then you're moving your body and working out, and then you're journaling, and like you have an opportunity to like be on retreat, but you really they're like routine is going to save you right now, and it's going to be the way out. And then they're also saying just check your substance use because it is bringing you further away from um, the purity of your feelings. But if you want a crutch, instead of substances, use the routine. Like be addicted to your routine in a sense instead of I just want to escape this feeling.
Yeah.
So that's how they're saying to get out.
Yeah, I love
Whatever. And
I
that's the
love the
military coming.
I love that language too, Christina, because I feel that too. It doesn't feel like this is a forever thing or a thing to get addicted to, but it is like kind of like you shared in the beginning, like I don't know what direction to go. This gives direction. This gives direction. And through the routine, you start to hear the messages yourself. You start to gain clarity. You start to bring in information of like, okay, what are the next steps outside of this? How do I be open to receiving? How do I put the pieces back together in the way that's going to be most expansive and most impactful for me? Um, but it's like this little chapter of integration, this
Yeah.
little chapter of integration that is just like put your head down and do it. And like it's all waiting there for you. The visual I have is like you're in this like bubble of integration and everything you want is just like right outside of the bubble, and it's this clear bubble, so it's all looking in at you just like, yeah,
Yeah.
go go go, like just wait, just encouraging you, ready for you to put it all together. And then the second it's all together, like bam, it's in.
Yeah.
The bubble lifts and it's you're together with all of the things that you are wanting to manifest.
That makes sense. I've been thinking about that a lot too. I'm like, I need, like, yesterday, I was like, I need to, like, just, like, as you said, like, get a good routine going, like, because I'm very just kind of like, la, 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 la. So I need, like, some framework to operate within. So,
Yeah, because you're
Yeah.
floating through the air. Of course you're that way. Of course you're that way. And you can think of it as a container and a space for those pieces
yeah,
to start to drop
Yeah.
back into.
right.
Yeah. It's very good for you you can ask to have support. Like you're not and this isn't about your ego coming in and being like I have to control the routine and have it be perfect. It's like what little steps and also ask the universe to be there to channel exactly what you're meant to do and help you write the routine out. I'm just seeing again like you're writing it out and you're just being like I'm not negotiating with myself right now. I'm just doing what the thing says in the routine and this is my plan. And I see you taking small steps. Like if I look in the future you're like working out in like a boxing class and you're like but right now, it's sort of like just do 10 minutes of something that like moves your body because you have a lot of energy backed up in
Yeah.
your body um,
Hmm.
that needs a physical place.
And I have one last message, and it is from your soul, and she wants you to know we've got this. Like, we've got this. She's ready to go. She's ready to guide you. She's ready to fully integrate physically with you. Like, we've got this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christina, any last things you would like to share?
Yeah, definitely. I felt that too. Um, and just reiterating, like, you've done nothing wrong. Everything is right. And release the grip of your guilt or regret and allow us to help you with that. Um, yeah, because I'm excited. It's very easy to see your future. So keep that North Star.
Yes. And some very human advice that Christine and I were sharing with each other before you got on is like, it's just a chapter.
Yeah.
It's just a chapter. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? And it's just about making it through it.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, Bess?
That all like really resonated. So yeah, feeling a lot better now. Thank you.
Good. Yeah. It's a lot to process, but I think you have some really clear steps. And as Christina is so good at doing, she did give you basically exact instructions on where to start. So yeah, we're excited to see you on the other side of this, but like it's heading toward beauty, and I know it feels hard and confusing and like what the hell right now. But you're gonna be so grateful on the other side of this, and you're gonna be so grateful that you did the work to expand your vessel to really receive what's coming for you.
Yeah.
Okay, on a fun note, tell us, what is your psychic party trick after the tears have gone?
Cry through it, whatever.
Just remembered this last night. This is all kind of, it's never weird. Okay. I was like, this is so weird. All these things I've been thinking, whatever.
This is
Um,
not here. This is nothing's weird here.
I'd actually forgotten I had this power or whatever. I was driving home yesterday and this started in college. I don't have an explanation for this. Driving and there's at night and there's street lights on. I can make them go out or on.
What?
I
That's amazing.
I haven't done it in years, and like I did it last night. I was driving home. I saw one off, and I looked at it and went,
See, girl, what are you worried about? You are living in the world of magic. Forget all this human shit. Are you kidding? That's awesome.
it's like, it hasn't happened in a long time. And I had actually stopped telling people this because they're like, yeah,
It's like yoga.
Well, I mean, I can't wait to see what you can do on the other side of this transformation.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
We need you. Bess, thank you so much.
you
It
guys,
was
oh
lo
gosh,
it was lovely to be in your energy and to share this wisdom with you. So thanks for
thank
your
you
vulnerability.
so much. Like from the bottom of my heart, I feel like so much lighter now, and like feel like I can like take charge of this now. So thank you so much.
Love you so much.
Yes,
Love
you're welcome.
you.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Ciao.